It's your Uncle Terry. Don't latch, that bone slide. Every hater on my list, they'd already subscribed. Yeah. He tags timestamps like toe tags. He stacks bodies like playlists. Cables on the floor, cables round the necks. He says thanks for the feedback, then cuts them from the specs. Last breath in a soundproof tomb. He uploads doom at noon. Another rock drop. Let's get into it. Beyond the slam, we don't tap out. We break that charm till the teeth fall out. On the one spot, yeah, we lock that down. Say my name wrong, you get crossed right out. Beyond the slam, let the crowd go wild. Every hater in the chair getting buried live. Beyond the slam, beyond the slam. I got blood in the waveform, smoke in the booth. Every stream that you play is a hole in the truth. Put the stats on the wall like a trophy case. Every op that you sing got a missing face. From the basement up, now the brand worldwide. All caps in the font on the thumbnail grind. You can scream in the comments all night, all day, but the clicks turn bricks, now we pave this way. Hand on the fader, other hand on your fade. If I pause for a second, that's a deadly way. You can pray for a glitch, but the file won't break. When the beat comes in, you're the ass. Beyond the slam, we don't tap out. We break that charm till the teeth fall out. Number one spot, yeah, we lock that down. Say my name wrong, you get tossed right out. Beyond the slam, let the crowd go wild. Every hater in the chat getting buried live. Beyond the slam, beyond the slam. Look, big boards light up when I breathe this name. Every network shake when I tease that flame. Put the sponsors on the table, cut the ad, that's lunch. Got the culture in a choke, hear the cartilage crunch. You post threads, I post threads. You chase checks, I take bets. Every episode of Coffin with the countdown clock. When the intro hits, whole block feels shocked. From the suburbs surge to the towers uptown, they repeat every word like a cultic sound. You can try new tricks, you can copy my slang, but your graph flat line, mine bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Beyond the slam, we don't tap out. We break that charm till the teeth fall out. Number one spot, yeah, we lock that down. Say my name wrong, you get crossed right out. Beyond the slam, let the crowd go wild. Every hater in the chat getting buried live. Beyond the slam, beyond the slam. Is this content or a crime scene? Numbers climb while they scream off screen. Crowd chant Terry in a fever dream. Every cheer that you hear got a darker theme. Play it back frame by frame, see the face behind the fame. Every laugh, every joke got a tag on a name. Ay, 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 ay. Beyond the slam, we don't tap out. We break that charm till the teeth fall out. Number one spot, yeah, we lock that down. Say my name wrong, you get crossed right out. Beyond the slam, let the crowd go wild. Every hater in the chat getting buried live. Beyond the slam, beyond the slam. Ay, ay. Are you ready for Slapchat Live? Yeah! The baddest show on the planet right now! Kick back, big mouth, big facts. Every hit contact, feel it in your chest when we snap. Side talk, side eyes, we drag you into the light. If you soft, better step aside. We slap takes, never let them slide. Slapchat Live, the baddest motherfucking slap podcast on the planet. Slapchat Live, say it from the guts so the whole damn world can chant it. Slapchat Live, every single weekend, you know you gotta have it. Slapchat Live, turn it up loud, let the speakers go. Damn it.
things I should warn you about when it comes to the host of this platform. He's been known to put dog shit in his boss's office, offend the petty corner, slap news, and welcome to Slap Son. He's not afraid to call people retards or pickle puffers, and often uses the word fuck. He has a history of calling influencers out on their bullshit, and he finds it humorous when he's mocking his competitors. But two things you won't find on his resume are bullshitting his audience and being politically correct. Fuck that noise. If you're okay with all that, then you already know his name. Please welcome the realest slap fighting podcaster on the planet and host of Beyond the Slap, Terry Dunning.
What is going on, people? Thank you for tuning in to Slap Chat Live. I am your host, Terry, and I got a lot of shit to talk about in a short time to do so let's get started. Man, first of all, I want to discuss, let me bring this up, bring up the screen here. I would like to discuss two guys that seem to be unstoppable in Power Slap. And I'm talking about Damien DeBell and Ron Wolverine Beta. These guys have taken out the best of the best, and it seems at this point like they're just throwing anybody at them. Dorian, in defense of Dorian Perez, he did amazing against DeBell, and I actually thought he won that match, but he didn't. But I don't think they're going to give Dorian another shot. Honestly, I cannot see them politically. I don't think they expected Dorian to do as good as he did. And when he rocked Damien like he did, I think that, it kind of shocked them. I think they were planning on just Damien knocking him out quick, and that didn't happen. That's my opinion. Of course, I don't know that to be fact, but I don't see them politically. I don't see them giving Dorian Perez another shot, man. Just because he's very outspoken, unfiltered, if you will, and that's not the kind of face they want holding that belt. If you kind of see the pattern, they don't want somebody like that holding the belt. Nothing against Dorian. I think he's great. If you get to know Dorian, he's funny. He's amazing. My daughter's favorite fighter. I do have a funny story about Dorian Perez later in the show I want to tell you guys about. But I can't see them giving Dorian Perez another shot. But there is one guy moving up in the ranks that might give Damien DeBell a damn good challenge. This guy's been around for a while, as long as Damien DeBell. Actually, I think a little bit longer. And he's definitely making a name for himself. He came into this promotion, and he had a little bit of trouble when he got to Power Slap, but he holds records for the longest fights in slap fight history. And I'm talking about Darius, the Destroyer. I think Darius the Destroyer may be the only one right now in that division. It's not to knock anybody else in the heavyweights, but if you ask the people that they've thrown at Damien DeBell, they would all tell you Damien's not what they expected. He's a fucking monster, man. And I think Darius may be the only one that may actually right now give Damien a run for his money. Just because I don't think they would give Dorian Perez another shot. So I think Darius might be the only one. But when we talk about Wolverine, he has cleaned out the top people in his division. He's beaten Turpin, Allen, just everybody he's thrown at him that's been worthy. And I want to point something out. These guys are legends. Some of them have had more rounds in one fight than all their competitors combined have had fights and rounds. To throw somebody that's only had 2 and 3 fights up against a champion like this, it's really unfair. That, it doesn't seem like, it's even a challenge for these champions. That's just my opinion now. Again, we look at Allen. Dana White called it the greatest match he's ever seen. Personally, I thought Allen flinched way too much for that match. And then you look at Russell before with the clubbing. Just everybody they're throwing at him just seems inexperienced to be going against champions. But if you had to throw somebody up against Wolverine, who would be a good challenge for him? That's the question. Because, like I said, he's beaten everybody worthy so far in his division. Other people that are still there that say, "Oh, I'm worthy." they've lost matches. You know, they haven't really proven themselves. But there is a guy that's lost a lot of weight. Now, I've heard rumors the other day. I woke up, I get phone calls starting at 3 in the morning, ding, ding. And sometimes, man, people message me 9 messages at a time, and you know who you are. And I don't have any problems with it. I love it because I wake up and I get all kinds of content, you know, things. Some of them would, you know, be so catchy I can't go back to sleep. But I received a tip that this match could possibly be in the works. Is it confirmed? No. I want to be very clear. It is not a confirmed match. But I received a tip that it could possibly be in the works, so I put that out there because if this is in the works, this would be the best match, I think, for Ron Wolverine Beta right now. I don't think there's anybody worthy, really, of him, you know, risking, you know, another club or foul. And the man needs to get paid. You know, he's waiting for a worthy contender. But if this is in the works, this is the match that I think a lot of people would want to see. We know that Crazy Hawaiian has lost a lot of weight. And I've seen in comments today, because I checked social media, people are worried about clubbing and stuff. These are two guys that respect each other. You know, there's been things in the past, people say, oh, this happened. And people will say Wolverine this or Crazy Hawaiian that. But these guys respect each other. I honestly think if this match were to take place, they would damn sure try to keep it clean the best as possible. That's my opinion on this. I don't know this, again, to be a fact, but I do want to cover something else. The tip, a lot of people, Wolverine must catch more shit than anybody on the roster just for being associated with this platform. And I want to be clear about something because I've had fighters say, oh, I've told Wolverine all about you and not to trust you and stuff. I am a huge fan of Wolverine. I message him on holidays and I message him for interview requests. But I don't bother Wolverine. I don't get tips. In fact, I would never ask Wolverine to deny or confirm anything because I wouldn't want to put him on the spot like that. You know, to ask him, you know, to either have him lie because these guys have contracts. And if they were to release something like that, they would get in trouble. So I wouldn't even ask Wolverine if this was true or not. But if I hear a tip, I definitely put it out there for people. And I'm just stating my opinion. If this is in the works, this is an amazing match. It would definitely be something the fans would want to see. That's just my opinion on that. Let me bring myself back up on camera here. Look at my notes. Now, the next thing I want to cover, now another match I heard that will be taking place here in March in Las Vegas. For those that don't know, if you want to book your stay in Las Vegas, March 6th is the event. I know UFC is taking place March 7th. And I will be dropping tips on where to stay, cheaper hotels and stuff as we get closer to the event. But March 6th is the event. If you guys want to make this event, definitely start booking now. There is some good hotels out there on Fremont Street. You can guys check around, do some research yourself, get prices. But another event is a match is supposed to take place at the March 6th event that I've heard is Brandon Rhodes going against Isaiah. Now, I put together a short little clip of Brandon Rhodes and what he's accomplished on his road to the title shot, if you will. And I want you guys to check this out real quick, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think it was a club. Sounded like a big thump.
Looked like a step as well. Yeah.
What the was that? Brandon hit him! Get off of there.
My technique has improved drastically. It just looked a little sloppy. Completely developed a new technique.
Can they call it three?
I don't think he's getting up from this.
Listening to music, having a few drinks with the guys, cutting.
He's a glass jaw jester.
I was woken up from my blackout nap on the party bus.
Chill.
Dude, I respect the out of you. Oh, gain weight. Oh, gain weight.
Humble yourself.
Outside takes one sip more.
Yeah, so that's who's going for the middleweight title based on what I'm hearing. And if you followed Brandon, he has a history. I don't think he's had one match he's got a history of clubbing people. The guy does have a chin. He did take a hell of a club from Chief. But how he's going for the title is beyond me. The rankings in general are shit over there right now. I don't understand them, and I'll cover that in another episode. But that's been almost, I can almost say confirmed completely, if you will. There's been no denying it. Brandon Rhodes, Isaiah, to take place here in Las Vegas. I don't think anybody's looking forward to that match, but it is supposed to take place. Now, I do want to cover the champions in general. These champions, again, when you look at a lot of the champions that have been holding on to the strap for a while, you got Ron Wolverine Beta, you got Damien DeBell, and they've been doing it for a while. But the people they're throwing at them are like, excuse me if you will, but they're inexperienced. Some would call them chums. That's me. But, you know, there are people that flinch, they club, that don't play fair. These champions don't want scrubs. They want people that can really, you know, put on a good match for the fans. I've talked to fighters, and that seems to be the common thing that they all want. They definitely want a clean match that the fans will appreciate. You know, they don't want to be booed off stage. They don't want that. There isn't a fighter on the roster that wants to be booed. So when you're throwing these people that are inexperienced at champions, it just isn't working for the fans. It's not working for the fighters. It's not working for the promotion or the sport. We need to do better when it comes to selecting fighters for these champions. They deserve better. And again, I think those are two good matches for the champions. They've been holding on to the belt for a while. They deserve those matches, and the fans deserve something like that. People tend to forget that a lot of the good fighters that are in this sport, they came from small promotions. And I get into this because I see a lot of people from promotion, from one promotion to the other, they insult each other. And I get the competitiveness. We do it even as podcasters. I totally understand that. But people need to remember that some of the best in this sport came from one promotion. I don't think I need to remind anybody, but I will. But Slap Fight Championship has put out some of the best in the world. Look at who's holding the belt. Damien DeBell, Wolverine, Crazy Hawaiian came from out of there. So many good athletes have come from that promotion. And I see people saying, oh, that's a shit promotion. No, it's not. That promotion is where champions are born. And people need to remember that when you look at Slap Fight Championship, remember that that's where the champions come from. Look at Power Slap's roster. And let me remind people that a lot of people that get cut from Power Slap that have talent, JT picks up the talent, and we've seen what happens when they go to Slap Fight Championship. So for those that are knocking Slap Fight Championship over in Power Slap, keep in mind that is where champions are made over there. And I will say this, not to insult Power Slap, but Power Slap people become professionals in 2 days to 1 week, and they're calling themselves pros. Whereas other promotions, and this is not a knock at Power Slap, just to be clear. This is just clarifying something because I see a lot of smashing online about one promotion. Power Slap, in general, a lot of people will leave Power Slap, and if they're talented, they go over to Slap Fight Championship, and they actually are turning out pretty well. There's a few of them. Look at Cody Cox. Amir went over there and has done pretty good. Blake is doing really good. Some of these people that were dropped are getting better. And that goes without saying that there's a lot of people in this sport that have been doing it for a while that aren't going to be beat by people that have only had 2 and 3 matches. The experience pays off, so quit throwing the 2 and 3 matches against somebody that's had 28 rounds in one match alone. It just doesn't cut it. Now, another thing I want to talk about. Now, I mentioned Dorian Perez earlier. I want to tell you a funny story about Dorian. Last week, everybody probably seen me put out a video informing Dorian that I didn't know exactly who was harassing us and the police were involved. The reason why I put that video out is because Dorian had called me earlier that day, and Dorian is one I respect. I respect Dorian, my daughter. That is her favorite fighter. Great person. I've hung out with him. But he called me up and he wouldn't hear me out. I couldn't get it out that, the police were involved and we know who it was. But it got to a point with Dorian, I actually had to hang up the phone on him. And it wasn't out of disrespect. I know he thinks I disrespected him, but in fact, it was the opposite. I hung up on Dorian out of respect because I didn't want to argue with him. This is a guy that, didn't really need to be involved in that situation to begin with, and I didn't want to say something wrong to him. So I ended up hanging up on Dorian. So yeah, he is kind of pissed with me right now. But it was over somebody else that I've had problems with for a long time. And Dorian just so happens to be good friends. He was sticking up for him. And I just didn't want Dorian to be involved. So that's why I put that video out to Dorian, letting him know what was going on. Couple more things. I'll let you guys get going. Slap Fight Championship has confirmed that they're on a small hiatus right now. They will be taking a break. The next event that I know of will be Punisher Slap Fight on February 28th. I have talked to Bobby. Bobby has said that they will be working on doing live streaming on YouTube. I believe he said it will be. So I will have that information for you. But I did want to point something else out. If people have been following social media, you've probably seen where Cody Cox and Robert have been going back and forth. Robert from Punisher Slap Fight. There might be something big in the works. I can say that it's in the preliminary stages, if you will, but a world champion from Punisher Slap Fight potentially going against a world champion from Slap Fight Championship. But Frank the Tank has also said that he would accept the challenge from Bobby. So that could be something big potentially for the summer. I don't know a time frame yet. But we could be looking at 2 world champions from 2 different promotions, a cross promotion, world champion against world champion. That's definitely something I'm super excited about, and I will keep you guys posted on. Let me see. I think there was one more thing I wanted to cover, and I will let you guys get going. Let me bring this page up, make sure I show it correctly. All right. I do want to share our person of the week. Now, for those who don't know who Craig Reeb is, Craig Reeb is actually, let me bring it up on camera so people can see me too. We chose Craig Reeb as our person of the week. Now, everybody does know, of course, Kyron Bowen. Kyron Bowen is probably one of the most famous officials in slap fighting. He's one of the most comical. But there's another guy that deserves to be recognized, and I want to point him out today. If you don't know who he is, you need to know by now. He's the referee, the official over at Punisher Slap Fight. And this guy's got an eagle eye. When it comes to fouls, stepping, flinching, this guy is calling the shit, man. He's on his game, and he's a referee that definitely deserves to be recognized. So I wanted to point Craig out today to everybody. If you guys ain't following him, you can find him on Facebook. Definitely go follow his page. And I think that's going to do it for me, guys. I do appreciate everybody tuning in for the first episode. I will be bringing more content next week, next Thursday night on Slap Chat Live, and possibly my first live interview for this show. So definitely, if you're not following this platform, you need to be. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And I think I've covered everything. So with that said, you all have a kick-ass night, and we'll see you next week.
Joe's girl got a belly that jiggles when moves. He's the king of the facts, yeah, he's got the groove. Sits in his chair, puffing clouds to the moon. His laugh's like thunder, you can hear it boom.
Chuck and Terry's got the mic, watch him go. Lighten up the truth while the smoke billows slow. Making competition look dumb on the show. Chuck and Terry's groove, baby, don't you know? Hell, dig through the dirt, find the gold in the grime. He's the Sherlock of podcast, solving truths in no time. Got a joke for the jokers, a burn for the fools. Terry's the professor, rewriting the rules. He's got that wit, sharper than a blade.